Yo, yo, Dave, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, Dave? What's poppin'? Oh, there you go.
What's going on, man?
All right. So,
What's going on?
so first off, before we get started, let me apologize. I don't know, there was some weird stuff going with the streams. My Streamlabs updated, so it threw some things off and created a whole nother stream. So I apologize. I'm trying to get the other one offline, but I see people are starting to come over to this one. So again, just hit that notification squad so that you know when we go live. Hit the bell and all that, so this confusion won't really confuse you. I know there was a couple people that were already, as soon as I went live on this one, that were automatically over here. So notification squad, hit that joint, and you should be good. But again, I apologize for the confusion. Streamlabs updated on me, and that's what happened. So, Dave, another week, another L. What's good though? Before we get into that, how's your weekend? Though? How's your weekend?
It was good.
Let's
It
get
was
rid
it
of the
was
formalities.
Thanksgiving. I didn't have to cook. I just had to show up. Black Friday, I hopped into one of them online action deals. Wasn't interested in fighting in the mean streets of Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
Nah, okay.
So I hopped on one of them deals. It got me an Xbox, got me a laptop. I'm ready to rock, man. I'm good.
Yo, you got your 70 inch though? Pause.
No 70 inches, man. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Last thing I need is a 70 inch up in this house.
Yeah, man. Yo, I always hit the Black Friday sales. I had a good Thanksgiving. My grandma, my parents fried up a good turkey. If you never had fried turkey, man, you don't know what you're missing.
Oh my
Uh,
God, man.
yo, it's fantastic, bro.
That's the only way.
Fantastic. Yo, I never went back. Yo, we went from roasted to fried like 12 years ago, and we have not gone back. So that joint is
So so the vegan experiment is over for you,
Oh
sir?
no, so it was so I already said for Thanksgiving, yo, I was getting it cracking, but I'm back on this week. I'm back vegan again. Um, but yeah, this Thanksgiving it was off, and it'll be off again for Christmas. Um,
Yeah, man. Plymouth. I bought an Xbox. It came with Star Wars Jedi Order, and I had a bunch of other games that I already had from the previous one I had. So we'll see how it goes. I got a pretty good deal on it, so I couldn't complain. Amazon was giving them away. Well, it was $300 for a Pro Xbox One X, so pretty good deal. Considering the $500 again now. DJ Moore, you're back, huh? You're not that back, fam. You ain't had that good of a game. Let's keep it high now. I'm in the fancy playoffs. I know what points you be bringing to the table
hey,
right now,
come
man.
on, let's relax on DJ, yo. DJ had a solid game, man.
I know. I'm busting his
Uh,
chops.
but I'm just trying to get rid of this download. Uh, delete that joint. All right, now we should be good. All right, so anyway, another game, another week, another L, another disappointing loss in a very similar fashion than the others were. Um, Dave, I mean, listen, the Washington Redskins were what 2-9 coming into this week. Uh, watching the first quarter, we thought it was gonna be a shellacking. We went up 14 nothing, and then that was pretty much it. After that, we didn't show up. So um, I don't know what to say. Listen. I tried to tell you guys to watch the way I watch now. Just go into the game with zero expectations, and whatever happens happens. And that's kind of how I watched it. And you don't get too high, you don't get too low, you don't get too excited when you recover onside kick, and you don't get too excited when you go up 14 nothing. You just sit back and watch the game, and whatever happens happens. So that's how I watch the games. That's how I watch all games from here on out. Ever since Kyle took over, that's how I've been watching the games, and it's been great for my blood pressure. Y'all know how I watch games. Y'all seen me on live streams before. If you've seen me during a live stream since Kyle took over, I'm not even. Yo, I promise you, I'm good. Yo, I don't even get hype. It's just whatever happens, it is what it is, and I encourage most of you to watch that way. Chris, if you watching in the group me, please take note of this because your boy be in there wilding after every game, and you gotta relax, sir. You gotta relax because it's no point in getting. It's just a game. At the end of the day, it's just a game, and your boy be in there wilding like he about to commit suicide because the Panthers lost, and we gotta relax. Okay, it's not that serious. All right. So anyway, Dave. what were your thoughts on the game? Um,
It's
we
story
can,
time.
is it story? Go ahead, Dave. Talk about it.
It's story time. So, as you guys know, I'm a daily fantasy player, and I entered one of the tournaments in DraftKings this week, and I actually created a Panthers stack. A team stack is basically you put a bunch of team players on the same team in one lineup. So I had Kyle Allen, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Panthers defense. I put them all in one lineup and sprinkle some other players in it. And so the game starts. First quarter comes. Touchdown pass to Curtis Samuel. Oh, this is great. Then we get the ball back. Touchdown pass to DJ Moore. Oh, this is great. I look at the status of the tournament. I'm in first place. First place is $3,000. I was sitting good. Then all of a sudden, Cal became Cal, and it became a epic fail for the rest of the way. Close. I was sitting good. You can ask Marcus. I was like, "Yo, let's go, Cal." Then all of a sudden, it started getting dreadful as the possession is gone. It's like they switch offensive coordinators after the first two drives.
Bro, who?
It
Yeah,
was bad. And
yeah,
then and then like there was a moment. I think after the first touchdown, I said, "We about to lose this shit. We about to lose this game."
yeah. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. It was like they just after I think the second quarter started. Second quarter was cool. Although I think we lost the lead at that point. I think it was we were down. They were up one. It was 15-14 at halftime.
Yeah.
And you would think after halftime, they would come out with a little different game plan. And nah, it was just the same old, same old. Uh, you know, try to try to throw the ball, knowing our offensive line is complete trash. Couldn't run the ball. I mean, McCaffrey only had 44 rushing yards or something like that. It was not a good showing at all. So um, it was bad. It was bad. It was really bad in all facets of the game, special except for special teams. Special teams had a solid day, especially with a beautiful onside kick that
Mm-hmm.
was recovered by the Panthers. It was almost like the Redskins didn't even practice for it because nobody went for the ball at all. Um, excuse me, the team from Washington. Um, it is what it is. Um,
Listen,
listen, go ahead, Dave.
Marcus is my witness. At halftime, I was considering leaving the bar. I strongly considered making my exit, and we were only down by a point. That was like enough for me to convince myself I probably should go home. And in hindsight, I probably should have went home because it started snowing. So it was like, at that point, I'm like, yo, the weather is now interfering with the situation. But me being me, I stayed there and watched it. And I watched it get worse and worse until
And
we
then
make the
and
comeback.
then a little bit better, and then
It got a
and
little
then
bit
worse.
better, and I was like, all right, I'm going to stick this out. Then I'm like, oh, we got to recover onside kick. They showed the stat that the last onside kick we recovered was in 1998. And I was like, we'll probably get this one because the stat popped up. And lo and behold, we got it. And I'm like, oh, I think we're gonna be all right. I think we're gonna be good. And then the final play happened. The final two plays happened. The first play, McCaffrey was open. Was open. Screen open. All right. So I was like, all right, I'll let that one slide. Second play, Jarius Wright was open.
Wide open. And listen,
Wide open.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was gonna come up here and I was gonna say, man, well maybe he couldn't see, the pressure. He couldn't see the man. But if you pull up the screenshot of that play, there was a direct lane. It's like it's like Moses came through and opened up the lane for him to see Jarius Wright wide open, and he just missed it. He didn't even look his direction. He didn't go through. Kyle Allen was shook. I mean, he did get sacked 6 times. I'm not up here trying to make excuses for the man, but he did get sacked a lot, and he heard footsteps. He heard footsteps, and he missed a wide open Jarius Wright. I mean, if I don't have the screenshot, and it's not in my slides, but if you pull it up, and you see that it was a direct line of sight straight to Jarius Wright, and he missed him wide open, or he was all by his lonesome back there. But even if he hits him, you only get one try to get a 2-point conversion, Dave. We still would have been down two. You only get one try to get a 2 point conversion, and who's to say we wouldn't have lined up right back in the same situation where we failed again? So listen, you could put a lot of stock into that last play, but at the end of the day, I don't think we would have converted anyway, and it would have been another disappointing loss regardless, in my opinion. So it's just
Well, the
it just
funny thing
saved us
is,
from another second of pain. Go ahead.
I I was debating on whether or not I was trying to figure out how painful it could have truly been because he didn't throw the because he got sacked. Maybe the pain was less versus him overthrowing it towards Jarius or throwing another pick or something like that. I don't like. I'm trying to figure out where my anger would have gone. I just think the way that it ended kind of described the entire game. That Kyle Allen was on his behind constantly,
A lot. He was on his butt a lot.
constantly.
This is how quarterbacks end up on injured reserve.
Yep.
I'll leave it at that. Dave, let's talk about this game. Let's go ahead and get through this. Stock up, stock down. Listen, I just threw some names on the board. I want to get to the real content because I think we all know how this is gonna go. But I just want to get through this real quick. All right. So, Ron, Ron, you get stocked down, B. You can't. First of all, Dave, are you feeling a little warm? You feeling a little warm,
We
Dave?
passed warm, buddy.
It's a little warm in here
We
to you,
passed
Dave.
warm.
So hot in
We
her.
passed.
Ooh wee.
So hot in.
Let me tell you something, man. That joint might as well be in hell.
Dave, it's a little
That's
toasty.
that seat is hell at this point.
It's a little toasty. And you know
It's
what, Dave, if you watch the post game press conference, he
he
seemed real
knows.
relaxed. Yeah, he seemed
No,
real
he knows,
relaxed.
man.
Dave. Yo, he seemed real.
Yo, he
Yo,
knows.
he's
He knows.
yo, he was
He knows.
he was real comfy behind that podium. Probably the most relaxed I've ever seen him behind the podium. Our guys. I'm just happy they tried. They went out and tried. They gave it their good old best. And it just sounded terrible, man. It's terrible. So Ron, it was a terrible showing. The dudes were not prepared. Offensive line was garbage. And listen, he sat up there and he made excuses. Oh, we don't have some guys. Some guys are hurt. But listen, the Redskins got their personnel is very their situation was very similar. They didn't have Ryan Kerrigan. Their offensive line is banged up. They lost Montez Sweat I think halfway through the game. So just like we lost Gerald McCoy, we both lost some guys, and it just seemed like we got out schemed. I mean dog, we can't stop the run to save our lives. Guys, he just looked like he was a Pro Bowler. He looked like he was back at LSU.
You know who
Um,
wasn't in that lineup? That Panthers Colorado lineup?
who was it?
Guys.
They guy man.
Guys wasn't there. You know who
Guys,
else wasn't there? Adrian
AP,
Peterson wasn't there either.
AP,
Because they were both there. I might have still won that
fam,
$3,000 despite Kyle Allen.
fam. They had so much had so much fun running on us. They were debating on who got to go out and get the snaps. AP had to stop Darius Geis because they ran out on the field at the same time. AP said, "Nah, B, I got this. It's my turn." They were taking turns shellacking us, B. They were having fun. And the offensive line, the Redskins offensive line was out there running on the field. Yo, they were literally having fun. Like the best time of their life out there. It was too easy to them. And it's just it was embarrassing. But that's on you, Ron. I mean, it's been bad all season, and it has not gotten better. He's gotten up there, say the same mistakes or same things, missed opportunities, gap assignments. I mean, when are you gonna fix it? So it's on you, man. That's on you. But Dave, I'm not gonna sit up here and talk about the obvious. Do you want anything else on Ron? Because his time is near. It's
Yeah,
about over here, bro.
he
Um,
knows.
yeah, it's
Like,
about over here.
he legit knows. He legit knows. Like, it's one thing if you're debating about whether or not you know it's a wrap, but he legit knows that it's over.
Yeah, I never seen that. He sounded so comfortable. It was crazy. Like he got asked about it, and this has happened. This is not the first time he's been on the hot seat, but this is certainly way more different circumstances than normal. So that being said, that's all I got on Ron. I'm not gonna sit here and beat a dead horse. It's his time is over here. But anyway, you got anything else, Dave?
No, I'm
All right.
good on Ron for now. We'll have these discussions. I'm pretty sure we got a little bit of time.
Absolutely. Oh, we're gonna talk about it, Dave. But red zone offense again. We already talked about the red zone offense. That's also stock down. Listen, we're 0 and 4, 4 games that we've lost on a similar situation like this, where we're down at the 1 yard line, 1 2 yard line, can't punch it in. He calls back-to-back run plays that we lose yardage on, and it's just like, come on, man, like serious at this point, I'm like, yo, just line up Gerald McCoy back there and like let him block. Just get your fattest dude on the field and just get him out there and get Kyle Love out there and just put him at running back and let him run through the force his way through the hole. Pause. Because it's ridiculous. Like this is really bad. It's embarrassing at this point, and I don't know what else to say. I mean, I could have kept this slide up here for like the past 3 4 weeks, which is there's no adjustments being made. There was no adjustments at halftime. We sat out there and did the same thing, but I don't, Dave. Anything else, man? I don't know what else to say. We keep come up here and say the same things every week.
I feel for McCaffrey.
Yeah. Oh, it's a wasted season. Wasted season for sure.
I feel for him from the standpoint of he doesn't really. I think they're trying to get the funk out of him because it seems like every single time they try to give him the ball when it's like 4th and 1 or 1 yard to go, he can't get it in when the game's on the line. Like he's done this numerous times. You know, he's done things at the one, but when the game's on the line, he can't get there.
I
And I
mean, it's
can't
not.
put it
That's
all on
not
him,
all on
but I
him.
know
Yeah,
he probably feels it.
that's not all on him. That's O line. That's play calling. Like, yo,
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot to it. I mean, we just got in the trenches. We are just not good. We're not good. No matter how you slice it, we're just not good in the trenches. So you cannot sit up there and force a run a halfback dive up the middle, and it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But anyway, you got to do something else because this ain't working. And this is the time where you miss a Cam Newton, man, because those 4 losses could be 4 W's with the good old QB power, with Superman taking off and diving over a pile. So I mean, we could be. I hate doing that. I hate doing hypotheticals like that, but that's where you really miss them, right there. Um, so anyway, that's all I got to say about red zone offense. Dave, anything else?
nope,
All right.
not yet.
Again, next offensive line, the trenches. I mean, the offensive line was terrible. 6 sacks. Uh, you know, I listen. I don't know what else to say. It's bad. Dudes are getting tossed around out there. It's really bad. Offensive line. Listen, I credit Ron and Hurney for trying. They really tried. But they tried to address it. They drafted 2 guys. But this ain't it. This is not it. This is not it. You got to do something else. And you know what really irks me going back to Norv is that they didn't, move the pocket. It was like just let them drop back and just get killed every drive. And so like the offensive line is bad, and it's really nothing you can do about it per se.
Well,
I don't
here's the
know.
other problem,
I don't
man.
know.
The play calling was atrocious
Yeah, it was bad.
from
It
the
was bad.
standpoint of Kyle Allen shouldn't throw the ball as much as he did yesterday, considering that we had a 14 zip lead. And when you look into like the fact that we had a lead, we abandoned the run after the first quarter, and we had the lead. So I don't. The line is obviously atrocious, but we've been dealing with this. We've been dealing with this line all season,
And
and
I think
injuries aren't helping.
and I think Slim made a good point in the group me when he said that Cam Newton our offensive line has always been bad. This Cam Newton has been around to mask it,
That's
and
a
that's
fact.
absolutely 100% facts. Um, so when you don't have a
Kyle
Cam,
Allen should never throw the ball over 40 times.
he shouldn't, and that's what Haskins was not good. He had a a below average day as a quarterback, but
You know what
when
his
you
QBR was?
was it 10, right?
10.
Yeah, but when you can sit back and run for 200 plus yards on the ground, you don't have to do shit. So
Well,
um, I don't know.
They were balanced. They ran the ball 30 times. Well, I won't count those four. 26 times. Passed the ball 25 times. And us, 46 to 20.
Yeah,
Like 46 pass, 20 run.
yeah.
And we have McCaffrey. So
I don't know. No confidence. I don't think he has. I don't think he has confidence that we can actually run. So
even with McCaffrey,
I don't know. I don't know, man.
even with McCaffrey,
It's
MVP
bad.
candidate, you give the ball to him only 14 times.
It's bad. It's bad. Anyway, that's all I got for O line and Kyle. And as a result, it kind of all flows together. When you have bad coaching, bad offensive play calling, bad offensive line play, you're gonna lead to bad quarterback play. So Kyle Allen he looked bad. He looked bad today. Listen, I give him his props when he deserves it. But listen, I gotta tear him down too. It was a bad game. Not all entirely his fault, but he didn't help the situation either. He had a bad interception that he threw um, with Landon Collins disrupting that play. They got real reliant on that slant, and Landon Collins, jumped in front of that one. Um, so he had a bad game, man. He had a bad game, and again, like Dave said, shouldn't have been throwing the ball 40 plus times. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Dave, any thoughts on Kyle Allen?
Ah, man, 3 grand, man. You almost won me 3 grand. If it was only one quarter, I would have won.
Yeah,
Too bad. The rules are you got to play all four.
yeah.
He had such a perfect start, man. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous
yeah,
how
he
good
looked
that
great.
start
He
was.
looked great coming out. So that's a great question. Perth Panthers asking, is it worth giving Greer a shot? Um, listen, I don't know. Do you want Will Greer to go out there and get destroyed like that too? His confidence would be jacked up if you put a Will Greer behind that. What do you? Because I'm not I'm indifferent with Will Greer. I mean, yeah, do you
Here's
want
my
to see
thing,
him?
right? I
But
was I was for it until I sat down and looked at this entire picture, right? We put Greer behind that line, he's done. Unless you guys are just going to put Greer out there just to make sure that Cam comes back next year. That would be the only reason at this point because his confidence would be shot to all hell if we put Greer behind that offensive line.
yeah,
Period.
not good, not good. But anyway,
That's just my opinion. Initially I was like, maybe we should see what he got. But then I'm like, nobody, like, no rookie would do that well behind that line unless they can run.
yeah, I
Unless
agree.
you're Lamar Jackson or something.
I agree. I agree. All right. Moving on, Dave. I had to do it, man. I had to do it. Luke Kuechly, boy, he looked lost out there. He looked lost. Listen, I think that, and
I'm,
I'm
I'm
gonna
kind of
listen.
shocked by
I know,
this.
and I'm gonna partially blame scheme, because I don't think he should be. He's a 4-3 middle linebacker, man. He cannot. He is nowhere near as effective as he was, in the 4-3. It's just I'm sorry. It's just it didn't look good. Did you see the plays where he was like where he and Shaq Thompson were running after the same area, and the receiver got open, and then he after the play like he like banging himself on the head. Like it's not good. It's not good. It's not good out here, man. It's
So
Go ahead,
I,
Dave.
I'm not going to argue with the stock down, but I will say this: there was a play, and you mentioned it earlier. There was a play where there was a fumble,
Oh shit.
and there were a multitude of Panthers around this play, and there was only one person I saw running after that ball. You know who it was?
Who was that, Dave?
It was Luke. Luke was the only one that had awareness to go after the ball. Everybody else was like, he was the only one to run after that ball. We didn't get it, but my point is that I don't want to beat him up too bad. I beat him up enough the past couple weeks that wouldn't allow me to give him the stock down. I was giving y'all the warning signs for weeks now that Luke hasn't been himself,
He's not
but this might
himself.
be part of it.
He's not himself. I think scheme is part of it. A lot of it. He's just not able to flow like he usually is. And it's also that front line play. Listen, I'm no defensive genius, but I know this ain't the Luke that we all seen in the past. He showed some flashes, but usually this man leads us in tackles, When was the last time he's led us in tackles in a game?
It's been a minute.
It's been a
Eric's
minute.
been Eric Reed's been killing it.
Save that thought, Dave. Save that thought. But yeah, it's not good. It's not good, man. It's not good. But anyway, I don't want to harp on Luke too long. Um, Dave, this I'm not putting. Listen, this picture is not indicative of Shaq. Like Shaq, I'm not putting Shaq on stock down. This is just a picture of the run defense. Period. Like this is our run defense was
I'm
atrocious,
waiting for it to pop up so
and
I
this
can laugh.
this just sums it up. Okay, this just sums it up. This sums up our day on run defense. Um, it was bad. It was bad. Um, Shaq taking that getting stiff arm to the ground like that was not cool, and it happens. But it just sums up our day. It sums up our day, man. Sums up our day. How many yards did we give up, Dave, on the ground?
Oh God, you
Let me
really
see.
want to know?
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't remember.
Geis almost ran from 130. He was 1 yard from 130. Adrian Peterson was 1 yard away from 100. So over 240,
That's insane.
248,
That's insane.
248 yards rushing.
That's insane, man. 248. That just sums up our day. Um.
I mean, when
Anyway,
your quarterback goes when the quarterback goes 13 for 25 for 147 yards, and you still get ran on 250 yards, I mean, that's just the
insane.
way it is.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. All right, let's move on. That's just run defense was the point I was trying to get across here. Um. And stock up, Dave. You mentioned them. Yes, there is a couple. I got a few stock ups. Eric Reed. Again, this man has been dominating in the tackle field. You know it's bad. And listen, I think it's pretty bad when your safety is leading you in tackles. Granted, it is part of his role. He comes up and plays at the line a lot. But if there is a bright spot, it's Eric Reed. I think he had a sack or a QB hit on this game as
He got a
well.
sack.
Eric Reed has been all over the field. Trey Boston is not. Trey has been not good as well.
Garbage.
So yeah, Eric Reed. He's led us in tackles for a lot of games. A lot. I don't know them off the top of my head. I didn't have time to do the research because I was doing other things. But yeah, uh, Eric Reed. Shout out to Eric Reed, man. The only bright spot on a terrible defense. All right. So anyway, the other one I had was DJ and Curtis. Dave, do you know how many yards DJ is away from 1,000? Don't look it up.
I'm not. I don't know. He's
Take
probably
a guess.
close.
Take a wild guess.
Probably like 25 or 30 yards away.
20 yards, Dave. 20 yards from 1,000, which is awesome. Um, listen, I brought up over in the off season about how Curtis could be in line for that 1K season, but DJ is bodying that joint. He looks good out here. And it's not he's not doing anything amazing. He's not out here uh, running crazy routes. He's just beating people in slants like really bad. Like he ran, I don't know how many times he ran slants. I wish I should have pulled his next gen stats up, but he ran a whole bunch of slants. Yes, Curtis did have a drop, but that touchdown toe tap was awesome. So shout out to the two receivers again. Once again, I feel like we wasting. Yeah, he did have two drops. Excuse me, he did have two drops. Curtis had two drops. But listen, I like these guys as a tandem. I like these guys as a tandem, and I think the future is bright if we can keep them together. Dave, any thoughts on Curtis and DJ?
Nah, they're doing great, man. I've been busting their chops, but they're doing good. I want to go back to the Eric Reed stat you mentioned about the fact that he's been leading the team in tackles. So
Yeah,
over the past month, 2 out of the 4 games he was first in tackles on the team. The other 2 he was second. The highest that Luke's been the entire way has been fourth
the highest in those what? How many games?
in the last month. Yep,
Ooh,
the last 4 weeks.
yeah, that's
The
about
highest he's been
right.
is fourth.
That's about right. That's about
And
right.
there was one of the games Eric Reed had 11 tackles, solo
Yeah,
tackles.
yeah,
Eric's balling, man.
yeah.
Like
Eric is.
I'm not ready to say Pro Bowl, but he might be he's gonna get
Yeah,
my vote.
he's
He's putting in
talented.
his work. Like I know there was some portion of the fan base wasn't a fan when we signed Eric Reed, but Eric Reed was exactly what we needed.
Yeah, he's having a good season, man. He's having a good season for sure. Um, that's all I have for that. And if you're keeping track, we got Tankathon. This is the screenshot from Tankathon. And you know what Tankathon tracks, Dave? You know what they track, right?
The draft picks,
Yeah.
the draft picks,
so so we are
the draft
we are
picks.
currently 14th. So if the season ended right now, we would be picking number 14. But Dave, I have a feeling we're gonna go up from here. We're gonna go up from here.
I do too.
Dave, I honestly don't think we win another game. I'm gonna be real with y'all. The schedule we have of those teams in front of us, we have the toughest schedule. We have the toughest schedule. We got to play Atlanta, which Atlanta's bad, but I mean they've been showing a little bit of fight,
In
more fight
Atlanta.
in Atlanta. They've been showing a little bit more fight than we have, um, and they have to play us, so that's easy. Um, and we have who else do we have? We have Seattle after that.
Seattle.
Then we have what the Saint, not the Saints yet. It's somebody the
Colts.
Colts and the Saints. So I think Dave, I do think we'll end up in the top 10, maybe even pushing into the top 7. If we go 5-11, we should be top 7.
Maybe it depends. Because all right, Cincinnati's got the number 1 pick. I don't think they're gonna screw this up.
No, they're not.
The Giants, they could win another game. You know, Washington can still win the NFC East.
Washington can definitely still win the NFC East.
I just wanted y'all to know that.
They could definitely
I
still
just
win
wanted
the
y'all to
NFC
be
East.
aware.
They are
That
in
Washington can still win the
they are
NFC
in the
East
hunt.
at 7-9.
They are in the hunt.
They are in the hunt. I was going to watch them win that football game just to see if they show Washington in the hunt, because that would be awesome. Out of principle, to show them in the hunt, so they could win the division and get into the playoffs at 7-9 and have a home game. Y'all decide whether or not we need to reshape how our playoffs work.
Yeah.
Miami, I could see them win another game or two. Atlanta, probably
Miami's
could
been
win a game or
playing
two.
really good football. They
Huh?
beat the Eagles. They've been playing really well.
Yeah, they
Miami's been
have.
playing good. Detroit,
Yeah.
I haven't looked at everybody's schedule, but I know we have the toughest remaining schedule.
Detroit could lose out. Detroit could. Arizona definitely can. Jacksonville will be interesting. They could probably win another game or two.
They only got to win 2. If they win 2 more games, Jets win 2 more. LA, Denver, all they need to do is win 2 more.
Denver's probably going to win a couple more. They played all right with Drew Lock.
They did.
Chargers is probably going to fight.
They'll get enough. They'll get
Philly
a couple.
is going to fight because they're trying to fight for a
Yeah,
playoff
they
spot.
they got a playoff spot. Tampa's gonna win a couple more. Tampa's playing good right now. Tampa's playing well,
So,
but
so it'll be interesting. Like, we could hop. Like, I mean, I'm not going to say we can't beat Atlanta. I'll just be irritated
can.
if we do.
we can. But y'all, we played this game last year. We do with the draft position. But I really think all the teams in front of us, the remaining on the schedule, like the Saints are not gonna lose. They're not gonna pull their starters. They've got
If they get home field, they could.
I don't. But
If they get into a situation
it's
where they can't get
competitive.
home, because they play San Fran, they still got to play
Right,
San
it's
Fran.
competitive. That's what I'm saying. It's competitive right now. So I don't think they pull their starters, even with it even being that close. Because I think they're both 9-2, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
They're not pulling their starters for any reason.
To answer your question about why Tampa's above us, they have an easier strength of schedule. So they have the same record, but their strength of schedule is easier, so they get in front of us because of that.
Yep, that's the SOS. Yep.
Yep, the SOS, strength of schedule.
But yeah, it's not pretty. And again, we have the toughest remaining schedule of all the teams in front of us. So we'll see what happens there. But Dave, all right. So let's talk about it, Dave. We all realize that Ron Rivera is on his way up out of here. Okay. We pretty much think he's on his way out of here. So I decided to do some quick research, Dave. So quick research, and I think you were in the group me earlier. You kind of saw what I was the kind of the breadcrumbs I was dropping. So I got
So before
go
you
ahead.
get into it,
Go ahead.
Marcus, don't say anything. But don't say anything because I had a discussion with Marcus yesterday.
Okay.
I think I know where Rivera's going after this year.
What, Atlanta or Dallas? One of the two.
Nope. Yeah, well, we're on the same page with one of them.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I think Dallas wants Lincoln Riley. But we'll talk
No,
about that.
I think if Jerry Jones was smart, he would get a coach that has coaching experience in the NFL
Is Jerry
and
Jones
that has
smart?
a defensive mind.
Is Jerry Jones smart though?
He's won 3 championships,
Dave,
and
that
he's
was
got. But
so long
I'll
ago.
tell you what, man. He's done a he. That team is
Dave,
very talented.
okay, okay, and I'll challenge you this: what's the difference between the Panthers and a healthy Panthers team and a healthy Dallas Cowboys team? I wouldn't say much, so I wouldn't get their expectations too
But
high.
we ain't been healthy all season, bro.
Not this season. I'm talking about this season.
All
I'm
right,
talking.
but even if you go like that, I, you cannot put Rivera and Garrett in the same field because Garrett should have been fired years
No,
ago.
I'm not. But I'm not talking. I'm not putting them in the same field. What I'm saying is that look at the results. We'll talk. We'll get into this. We'll get into this
We'll get in
deeper,
that discussion later in the episode. But
deeper,
now
deeper.
let's go.
And I'm right now. What I'm doing is I just put a quick search together. And this is what I've done. All right. So what I did was I looked at Super Bowl winning teams. Okay, non-Patriots, because we can all agree, Dave, can we all agree that Bill Belichick is the GOAT, right?
But what type of coach is he?
He's defensive coach, absolutely.
Okay, I just want to make
No,
sure.
no, no, for sure, Dave. I'm not
Okay,
arguing. I'm not arguing against that. I fully agree with you. But Dave, do you think there will be another Bill Belichick?
absolutely not. But
Okay,
you never know.
that's all.
Because remember,
You're right. You never know.
that was Bill's second. That was
Dave,
Bill's second coaching job.
Dave, you are right. You are absolutely right. You're 100% right. It could happen.
Because,
Highly unlikely. Okay, so that's why I threw. This is
but by the way,
all the Super Bowl winning teams that outside of the Patriots, because Bill Belichick is the GOAT. Okay, so I left them off of this list. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to kind of see the structure of this team, from coach to quarterback to general manager. Um, and that's kind of what I'm just trying to put the framework in place to see what we could possibly do here. All right. So if you look, most of the head coaches, like all but really one, have won a Super Bowl within their first 5 years of being a head coach. So it's that early success. You want to get it early as possible. That's why we think that, and this is just within the past 10 years. Okay, past 10 years. I didn't go past 10 years. This is just recent history. All right. So recent history. And then as you can also see, so for instance, Doug Peterson, he won the Super Bowl in his second year. So that years of experience is at the time they won the Super Bowl. So at the time they won the Super Bowl. That's how many years of coaching experience they had. And then I have their coach trait. So offensive mind, defensive mind. It's not necessarily calling them a genius. It's just saying, hey, they were a defensive coordinator or a defensive back coach or a wide receivers coach or an offensive coordinator or something like that. That was their background. All right. So if you pair that, um, a, a I guess a newly experienced head coach with an experienced quarterback, for the most part, you go out Carson Wentz, Russell Wilson. Those are kind of exceptions. And I agree that the trend, if you extrapolate that out to the losers as well, I started doing the losers. You'll see a Jared Goff and you'll see some other young quarterbacks in there. But this is just strictly winners, Super Bowl
I
winners
wanna
outside of the Patriots.
I
Go ahead.
wanna I wanna throw some wrinkles in this, man.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at Kubiak.
Yep,
He literally just walked into a good
he
situation.
did. Facts. That's a fact.
Yo, dude,
That's a
John
fact.
Fox. Like I know how you guys feel about Fox. Fox inherited one of the worst teams in the NFL when he took on his head coach. He took Tim Tebow and got a playoff win. All right, people forget that, but he built that team up. He helped build that team as a head coach, and then he got sent to the side because he couldn't get there. Elway was kind of reckless and brought his boy Kubiak in, and Kubiak did what needed to get done.
Yeah, no, I agree. I
And the
agree.
defense, ironically enough, the defense is the reason why they won it.
And I did have that. I did have that as a column where their defense ranked. I had that as a column, but I left it off because it was too big or too small for the.
That's the only like
Yeah,
that's
but
the
I
only
agree.
beef I got.
I no, I it's not. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. This is just the stats here. Okay. Um. So and then you can also see that the general managers were the internal hires, external hires, how they get there, what was their previous role, how, and how long they had been in that position before they got to the Super Bowl W. Okay, so you're talking, you know, a lot of years of experience. The least if you want to look to kind of one of somebody coming in and doing it quick, take a look at the Seahawks. Pete Carroll and John Schneider, they came in together at 4 years before they won the Super Bowl, and it took them 4 years to get there. So that's kind of an example of them. It's something that we could do. You fire Hurney, um, you fire Ron Rivera, you bring a GM and coach together. 4 years from now, you could, and you bring in a nice Russell Wilson like. So I'm just trying. I'm not saying this is not what I'm not formulating an opinion off of this data. I'm just putting it out there.
It's
That
interesting.
yeah,
No,
it's
it's
interesting.
interesting.
I'm not by no means am I saying this is what we need to do. I just took a look at the Super Bowl winning franchises, and said, hey, this is what's happening. I don't have an opinion yet. I still need to go through the data. Okay, all right. So let's move on. Let's move on because then it gets a little. I go a little bit deeper. Okay. So this is that now I'm looking at the recent team sales. Okay, what in the recent team, the teams that sold recently, the past 9 teams that sold. So you got the Bills, Jags, so and so and so. When did they get their new coach? When did they get their new GM? How long did it take? How many years did it take for them to get their new GM and coach? All right. And so as you can see, and then I have the number of coaches. How many coaches changed? How many coaching changes have they had during their tenure of ownership? Okay, and same with the GMs. So, for instance, let's take the Bills. The Bills were sold or purchased in 2014. They got a new coach the year after. All right, 2015 they got a new coach, and they've had 4 coaches uh, all the way up into 2019. They've had 4 different coaches. Okay, and then they got their new GM. So they had new coach in place first with an old GM. Then they got a new GM in 2017, and we all know who that is. Okay, Brandon Bean. So that's just an example of kind of what's going on for because we don't have anything to go from as far as what could happen if Ron Rivera gets out of here. Okay, we don't know. We don't know what's going on. Um, all right, so it's kind of this is me trying to see what has been done in the past and seeing what we could potentially do. Um, a lot of these GMs hang around for a long time. Once they get one, they stick with them. If you go back to the Ravens, Ravens are obviously the most successful franchise on this list. 2004, they were sold. Um, they kept the coach around 4 years, which I think was Brian Billick.
Billy.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
Billick at the time, and they kept him in for 4 years, and then they had a coaching change to Harbaugh after that, and then they just recently got a new GM like this past. So Ozzie Newsome was around for a long time um, before they got rid of him. So they're the most successful franchise. If you want to go, I'm not saying we should keep Hurney that long. I'm just put again. This is just the data, okay? That's all I'm saying. All right. So Dave, any thoughts on that data?
Tell you
Typically,
what, man.
typically the GMs are. If you look at the Dolphins,
I'm looking at how many won NFL championships since the team was bought. The Ravens won one,
yeah, that's it.
and that's it.
That's it. Just one. So we don't have any, and I'm just saying that to say we don't have any real data to go from. Tep is really trailblazing this joint. Like it could go one or two ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I'm saying. You got to be careful when you're talking about firing coaches and firing GMs because look at all the number. Look at the number of coaches some of these teams. Like obviously we talking about the Ravens, most successful. They've only had 2, right? They went from Brian Billick uh, to uh, uh, to Harbaugh.
Harbaugh. Harbaugh.
So they've only had 2 coaches. But then you look at some of these others. Look at the Dolphins, Jets, 6 coaches. I mean, the Jets was 20 years ago. So that's a long time ago. So I'll give
That's
cut
still a
them.
lot of coaches,
It's
dude.
a lot of coaches. Absolutely. Bills, 4 coaches. So I'm just putting that out there. It's a lot of turnover that could come if we decide to go ahead and if Tep isn't patient with the hire, it could turn ugly. So I'm just putting that out there. Just putting that out there.
I'm 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 going to. This might be a terrible assumption, but I'm going to assume that whoever the next coach is going to be here for a while.
I would hope so.
Unless because he came from a franchise who don't fire coaches often.
Well, okay. So speaking of coaches, let's get into a few, Dave. But before that, I gotta give you a disclaimer. Okay, this is a disclaimer slash disclosure. All right, we're not, neither one of us, Dave or I, are officially endorsing any of the following coaches. Coaches, okay, we're not doing that. We're just, this is just a list of guys that are out there. Okay, this is just a list of guys that are out there. I am not endorsing any one candidate. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right. So Dave, you can share your thoughts on some of these guys. I'm just putting them on there. These are some of the hot names out right now. Again, I am not endorsing any of these guys. Um, I'm just saying that this is the list, okay? This is the list. All right. So Eric Bieniemy, Dave. Eric Bieniemy. What you know about Eric Bieniemy, Dave? He's
Nah, in fact, I can't see his face. I have
it,
no idea
so
who you're
so
talking
he's
about. 'Cause I'm
Eric
waiting for
Bieniemy,
the slide to change. But yeah,
Chiefs OC. Okay, Chiefs OC. We know he's not calling the plays, but that tenure or that lineage of Andy Reid OCs have gone out and done a few things. You got Nagy, couple other guys that have gone out and had some decent success. Nothing crazy, nothing world beating. Doug Peterson as well. Um,
that is right. Doug Peterson did take his job from him.
yeah, yep. So what are your thoughts on potentially having another? He's an offensive guy. Um, what
Blackness.
what are your what are your what are your thoughts?
Yo, somebody say he looks like Biz Marquis.
He
I'm just
does a
saying.
little bit like a. I saw that too. He does look like a little Biz Marquis a little bit. Um,
uh,
anything on Airbnb Day?
I don't know, man. Well, I mean,
You don't have not. I'm just throwing it out. These are a
no, it's
couple
just
names. You don't have
I'm
to
all
tie
for having.
yourself.
Look, I'm all for increasing the African American coaches pool in the National Football League. Cause and honestly, to be truth be told, we've been given like so much heat about how bad our line's been, but as a whole, man, our roster's got some talent. You know, if they get Cam back, so I would love to have an African American coach to get the Tony Dungy opportunity. That'd be great. I don't know how realistic it is, but that'd be great.
Yeah,
But once again, considering where Tepper's from, I don't think we're going to get an offensive coach.
we'll see.
I just don't.
We'll see
We're
about
going to
that.
see.
We'll see. We'll see.
No, you can't say that, Plymouth, because we just showed you numbers of the Super Bowl champs. If you subtract Belichick, there was more offensive coaches that
Yeah.
won the Super Bowl than
If you subtract, do I need to go back to the slide, Dave? I'll go back.
we might need to.
So if you go back, a lot of these coaches are offensive minded coaches. Okay, so it's offensive minded coaches win Super Bowls. That's a fact. Doug
I know over
Peterson,
history that
Doug
hasn't
Peter,
been the case.
Doug Peterson, who came from similar with Eric Bieniemy, came from that Chiefs system, got him a Super Bowl. He's an offensive minded coach. Gary Kubiak, albeit with the caveat, he's an offensive guy. Tom Coughlin, offensive guy. Mike McCarthy, offensive guy. He walked into a nice situation too. Sean Payton, offensive guy. So, just saying, just saying.
I think the key is the offensive guy got to get a really good defensive coordinator.
That's obvious.
That's
So
the key. Like, because Gary Kubiak, he inherited a John Fox defense. He brought in Wade Phillips. He brought arguably one of the best defensive minds in football.
so Josh McDaniels. He's another one. Obviously, I wouldn't lead the Patriots if I was him either. And he
I
did.
don't
And
think.
he did.
No, I know we're not endorsing anybody, but I do not want Josh McDaniels.
Okay,
I'm gonna go ahead and say
exactly.
that.
We are not again. I am not endorsing. This is just the names that are out there. And again, this dude did the coach dirty. I wouldn't want him off the strength of that. Okay, that alone eliminates him from my thought. But I'm just putting it out there.
That was petty grass right there though.
Super.
That was about being petty.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
was like a different level of pettiness.
He did him dirty.
I just
Regardless.
remember what he did with Denver.
He did the dudes dirty. But all right. So all right. So that's just putting it out there. Josh McDaniels, Patriots offensive coordinator. If you don't know, next up, so that's all you got on Josh.
Now I don't want Josh, dude.
Okay.
Like he's already proven that he can't run a team. He might be able to run the Patriots, but I think he's gonna run them to the ground too, and I cannot wait. Can't wait.
Nice. All right.
I can't wait.
All right. Moving on. Rob Sela, the San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator. It's a hot name out here. Got the 49ers defense looking nice. He's a hot name. So if you want defense, could be a guy. Any thoughts on the
Man,
49ers defensive coordinator, Dave?
I want to see how this guy looks, man. I gotta see if he's got the growl. Does he have the growl?
I I
Does
don't.
he look like a defensive coach?
Yes, he does. He's jacked
I'll
up,
tell you
Dave.
what. When you showed the first brother from the Chiefs, I first thought, man, he gotta be a defensive coach. You say he was offense, like whoa,
He's an offensive guy, man.
that's out of the rain. He was out there looking like Romeo, so I thought he was offensive. But this guy here, oh yeah, he's fired up.
Yeah, he be fired up for real. Like this is the dude that shows emotion too. If you ever watch a 49ers game, he's turned like that on the sidelines, and I do like that. So I'm again, I'm not endorsing anybody because I haven't done my full research yet. But just throwing it out there, he's gonna be a hot name on the trail, especially with the 49ers looking as good as they look. All right, moving on. Um, so Nick Sirianni, Colts offensive coordinator, Dave, doing a lot with the little over there. Got Jacoby over there. It's a hot name. Matter of fact, both coordinators are from the Colts, along with Matt Elberfluss. Um, both of these guys are hot names on the trail. The Colts defense is having a good year. So again, when you're having a hot season, you got to strike while the iron's hot. Um, so I don't know much about Nick, this dude that's pictured. I don't know much about him.
He's the
But
offensive guy, right?
he's the offensive guy. And the defensive guy is a Rob Marinelli guy. So he got a cover two heavy scheme. And he likes to blitz a lot. So this is Elberfluss. Um, so I don't have any thoughts either way on there. It's just a hot name. That's all I got.
Yeah, what the Colts are doing with Brissett is pretty phenomenal, and they've had a really good defense all year. And the fact that we're playing at the end of the year, we're going to get a close look how they freaking scheme and
Yeah,
how they coach.
yeah, should be interesting. Should be interesting for sure. Next up, John DiFilippo. Dave, I know you didn't you like this dude at the time we were looking. I think
John DeFilippo.
yeah, I thought you liked this dude. The name came up. The name sounded familiar from discussions we had. I think last year, year before last. So no, he
Is
got
he an offensive guy?
he's an offensive guy. He got fired
Maybe
from
for a coordinator.
the Vikings. Maybe that's what it was. He got fired from the Vikings in 2018, and then got picked up with the Jags.
Well,
So
see how well he did get the stash. The stash made a return because of him.
yeah,
He did all right with Minshew, even though yesterday it was probably rough with Foles.
yeah, it wasn't pretty with Foles.
I
I
don't
didn't
know
watch
what
the
they're gonna
game.
do with Foles, man.
Yeah, he got fired
This
from
is
he did get fired from Minnesota. They moved on, and then they picked up. I forgot the dude's name. Y'all were talking about him earlier. Um, but yeah, I don't have any thoughts on DiFilippo either. Uh, Next up, somebody just said it, Greg Roman. I mean, you gotta take a look here. I think you gotta pause here, Dave. You gotta pause here. Ravens offensive coordinator. Um, I mean, he's got Lamar Jackson looking playing like an MVP. So you gotta stop here. You gotta take pause and wonder what if you give him a Curtis Samuel, a DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, a Cam Newton. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's also worked with Cap from the 40. He was a 49ers OC back then. He did
Yeah.
get fired from the Bills in 2016, but I think that was more so of a scapegoat firing by Rex Ryan. He's doing wonders with Lamar. So you gotta pause. And
You heard? Did you hear about what's going on right now in NFL offices about Lamar?
nah,
That all the NFL teams, suppose a lot of the NFL teams are checking to see which scouts under their staff said that Lamar Jackson wasn't a quarterback.
Wow.
They
And they're
trying
gonna
they trying
fire
to
him.
take heads off
They
right
finna
now.
fire him. I mean, but at the end, let's this marriage between Roman, because OC matters. OC matters. I mean, you gotta be. We seen what Mike Shula did to Cam Newton, so OC matters. You know what I'm saying? So if we can pair him up with a OC that's gonna use him, and that's all he's doing. That's all he's doing with Lamar Jackson. He came in and said, "Hey, I'm gonna make a scheme that fits you like a glove," and that's what we're seeing out there. That's why Lamar's playing so well. If we can get a dude to come out and fucking play the Cam's strengths for once instead of trying to fit Cam in a box, I mean, we don't know. But I think if I were to make a if I were to name a candidate right now, it would probably be
Probably
Greg
him.
Roman. It would probably be Greg Roman right now. I think if you want to talk innovation in the offense, you want to talk moving the needle. That's what he's doing with Lamar. So I don't know, man. Like it's he's gonna get paid from somewhere. Somebody's gonna get him. Somebody's gonna get him. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. And it makes sense because of where Tepper came from, so he's probably paying attention to the Ravens situation. He's probably going to try to grab somebody from the Ravens staff. If he can't get Harbaugh, he might go after him. I could see that.
Yeah.
He's been there since Lamar got drafted.
Yeah, he was tight ends coach, and then I think something happened with their OC and he got promoted. So he was there. He was there. Yes, to answer your question, yes, he was there when Lamar Jackson was there. But he was tight ends coach slash offensive um offensive not assistant, but what they call him like a consultant.
Head coach.
He was a
Oh,
consultant,
consultant.
something like that. Whoops. But yeah, I, again, if I had to name a candidate right now, it'd probably be Greg. But anyway, all right, moving on. Let's talk about college a little bit. Jim Harbaugh. Um, Dave? What are your thoughts on Jim Harbaugh? He caught
Has he
caught
been
the
to Ohio
fade
State
to
yet?
caught the fade to Ohio State. So no, he has not.
All right, so he hasn't been to Ohio State yet. Y'all want him here?
Yes, Dave. I would absolutely take Jim Harbaugh here. You want to know why, Dave?
Why?
44 regular season wins, 5 playoff wins in 4 seasons. How many playoff wins does Rivera have?
More than 5?
7 in 9 seasons. The man he knows how to win, B. And the only reason why he's not there is because he's the only reason why he's still not there in San Francisco is because of spat with the front office. You know what I'm saying? So I would absolutely take Harbaugh,
But then,
1,000%.
so then the question becomes, you know what type of personality he is. He wants to run the whole show. I don't think he
Get
wants
to
to
him.
GM. Let him run the whole show.
Hey, listen, if you're gonna win 44 regular season games and 5 playoff games in 4 seasons, then absolutely,
That's what you got to
absolutely.
consider. Because he's going to want to run the whole show.
No, yeah, no ring. That's true. No ring. But where you gonna get a coach that has a ring?
Like, I'm going to let you know right now, God
A
of
head
Blackness,
coach.
you ain't getting a head coach with a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, you
When you
not get.
talking
Well,
about,
that's not true,
when you,
Dave. That's not true. That's not true. There is one on my list. That's not entirely true. We'll get there. Go ahead. Y'all
I
not gonna
mean,
want the guy. Y'all not gonna want him though. But go ahead. Y'all
I
not gonna
remember
want him.
last time, hey, yo, real talk. I remember last time we had a coach that had a Super Bowl ring. You remember that? Remember last time we had a coach that had a Super Bowl ring? I remember him. You remember him? I remember him. And he
Yeah.
ran the whole team. You remember him?
Yeah, Tony said let the man get the groceries and cook the food, dog. Give him all the keys to the crib. Give him the whole time. Just sign the title over, he said.
All right, you want to do that? If that's what you want to roll with?
Listen,
I just remember the
you
last. I
can't
remember the
argue with
last
his
Super Bowl winning
success.
coach we had.
You can't argue with the success, man.
All I'm saying is George Seifert won a Super Bowl. We had him. I remember. You
Yeah.
remember George Seifert? I remember George Seifert. How many playoff wins did he have as the Panthers head coach? He had less than this guy. All I'm saying is, I don't want you to. We don't have to have a Super Bowl winning coach to get what we need to get done
I
here.
I agree there, Dave. I agree. All right,
Unless Dungy's showing up, and even then, y'all probably won't want him.
all right. Moving on. Another one. The good old Lincoln Riley. Everybody wants Lincoln Riley. I don't.
No,
I don't. I'm just saying. I don't see why he would leave Oklahoma. Those college jobs. Once you get them a good college job, I wouldn't leave personally. He got the keys to a good program. I wouldn't leave if I was him. I don't know that I want him. I
I'm
have to
gonna
do
be.
the research. I have to do the research on college coaches, bringing a college coach to the NFL and their success.
I'm gonna
Um,
give you. I'm gonna give you a clue.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Go ahead.
Most of the time, 90% of the time, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then what ends up happening is that once it gets ugly, then they go find a college job elsewhere, and that's that.
Yeah.
You know. You
Yeah.
want examples? I can give you examples. Nick Saban. He was an NFL guy first. Saban. Saban was a head coach in the NFL. He
Nah,
tried it out,
I'm
and
good
he'll
on
never
saving.
come back now.
Yeah, I'm good on saving. Listen, I don't know why you would, especially with a program like Bama, a program like Oklahoma. There's certain programs you just don't leave. Like once you get it, you don't leave. Um,
Remember Steve Spurrier?
I do remember Steve Spurrier.
I remember Steve Spurrier.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
Florida.
like you're naming Dallas coaches, so maybe Dallas will go get another college coach because you just named two. It didn't work for Miami for Jimmy, did it?
Greg Schiano definitely didn't work out.
Greg Schiano
Oh,
didn't work.
Pete Carroll did work, but Pete Carroll was an NFL guy first,
He was an
wasn't he?
NFL coach.
He was an
He
NFL coach
coached.
first.
People forget he coached the Jets and the Patriots before he
Yeah,
went to Seattle.
yeah.
People forget about that part.
He did coach. Yeah, he
it
did.
don't always. It doesn't always work, man. You remember when Chip Kelly came in, right?
Yeah,
Remember
Chip with that
Chip
offense.
Chip was like it. Chip was actually he was before Peterson. It was Andy, Chip, then Carroll, and Chip got the GM fired. Got somebody fired.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not fully on board with the Lincoln Riley pick either. I'm good. Um, I'm good with Lincoln Riley. I like a dude with some NFL experience, but I don't have the research to back it, so let me not like put a stamp on that. Uh,
Now I have it. You guys only name coaches that coached the Dallas Cowboys. That's what I have.
maybe that's what I'm
That's what I
saying.
see. That's what I see in my
Maybe
chat right
that's
now.
what I said. Maybe Jerry Jones need to get Lincoln Riley. Maybe it'll work out for them again.
Man, if they get Lincoln Riley, I cannot wait to see how that dumpster fire is going to
All
feel.
right, let's move on. Let's move on. Mike McCarthy. This is your Super Bowl winning coach, Dave. That's your Super Bowl winning coach. Do you want him?
Hell no.
All right then. That's what I said. That's what I was. That's
No,
what I was.
I didn't say it was necessary. I mentioned George Seifert.
Listen, you couldn't make it work with a NFL great and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you won a Super Bowl with him, but after that, it just deteriorated. Something serious. So I can't do it with. I'm good on Mike McCarthy. So that's what y'all said. Y'all wanted a Super Bowl winning coach. There's one right there. Um, but I've seen all I need to
He's
see.
available. Is he working right now?
He's not working. He's available, B, for a reason.
Yo, that's. So what are you saying? You're saying these offensive head coaches are just benefiting from the things that they have in front of them because that's what he definitely did.
Yeah, he did that. He caught
Absolutely
he caught
did.
a peaking Aaron Rodgers.
He did.
So it
He
happens.
did.
It happens. All right.
Kubiak caught an historic defense.
He did. Facts.
Like Kubiak, offensive mind, caught an historic defense after failing in Houston. But we ain't gonna talk about that though.
Yeah, it's facts. You're right, Dave.
I mean, we're not gonna talk about that. That's Elway's boy. They played together. We're not gonna talk about that though.
They did. It's facts.
You know,
All right, Dave. Dave.
I won't. I'm not.
Dave,
Gonna, I'm not gonna go there.
So
I'm just saying, some of these offensive coaches that was on your list
I'm just
got
presenting the
some,
facts,
got some
Dave.
star men.
That's true. You're right. You're right. I'm just presenting the facts, Dave. That's all
Oh,
I can do. Dave, but the next coach, could it be Dave? Could
nah.
it be that the
Pittsburgh
Steelers
ain't
actually
gonna fire
let
him.
go? He's it wasn't looking pretty at first, and there was
He's
rumblings.
a candidate for coach of the year.
There
Dog.
was I was gonna say, but you let me finish, Dave. So it was rumblings like 4 weeks ago that that they were gonna move on from Tomlin and blah 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 blah. but he's got the ship righted with the third string quarterback, and they are decent, not great, but what you can expect, considering the situation that they're in. But if it does happen, if they do let go of Tomlin, because there's a lot of rumblings that they need a culture change and blah 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 with the whole Brown, Antonio Brown, all that situation happening, they need a culture change. So maybe it happens. Maybe they fire him. And if they do, Dave, we should be first in line.
I'll tell you what, man. You ever heard the story of how he got the head coaching job?
I think I've heard it before, yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, when Cowher retired, everybody kept saying that it was going to be one of the coordinators that got the job. But the coordinators that went for the job didn't show up professionally. They didn't show up for the interview the way they should. And then this guy right here showed up in the interview, dressed for an interview like you should when you're trying to get a position, and pretty much took the job from them. Like took the job from them. Nobody knew who the hell Mike Tomlin was until they hired him. Everybody was shocked.
Yeah.
One Super Bowl later, I think he's only had like one losing record. Losing, I think he's only had two losing seasons, maybe one. I
I
have to
don't I
check.
don't I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah,
But
I'm not talking. There is rumblings from the fan base. Their fan base. That's who I'm talking about. There's the culture change. They want some new blood. It's because it's been a while since they got Super Bowl. So, but they're always successful. They're always there. So that's a product of a spoiled fan base, which is
fan base.
kind of, if you want to be honest, it's kind of how we are as well.
But you know what the funny thing is? You know
Not,
what the
not
irony
we're
of
not
all that
spoiled,
is?
but you get what I'm saying. Go ahead.
But you know what the funny thing about that whole situation is? He's got as many Super Bowl rings as the previous head coach in Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
and been there half the time. But I'm not gonna go there today.
yeah.
Let's move on.
Moving on. That's all I got, Dave. We can open up the phone lines for a little bit. Let us know who you want as the next head coach, because obviously we think um, the
I
the
think
end is
Rivera knows too.
the
He
end is
won't admit it, but
the end is
I think he
near.
knows.
Let me get this. The end is near for Coach Rivera. So um, who do you want as your next head coach?
What we doing, man?
Phone lines are now open. You can call in, let us know who you want as your head coach, or you can talk about the game if you want. But I think that's pretty pointless. Dave can't hang up on you. I got the controls.
I don't hang up on anybody, man.
I got the
Unless you're a
controls.
telemarketer, then I'll hang up on you.
I got the
Other than
controls.
that, I'm not gonna hang up on you. I'm out here trying to check to see if I'm gonna make the playoffs in one of these leagues, man. I'm in a state of influx right now.
Yeah, what the
Hello.
yo, what up?
What's up, Nolan?
Not much. How are you guys doing?
What's good,
Doing
man?
all right.
Well, thankfully we only got 4 games left. Um, I'm in the same boat as Rashad. He said he put up his Christmas lights after that Julius Slide missed kick. As this game was going on, no emotion whatsoever. And then,
You started putting up the lights.
even on that onside, what'd you say?
You started putting up the Christmas lights.
Oh yeah, during the game I was cooking. I was vacuuming. Like, you know, I have my attention, but I'm not about to get my emotions up to where, I'm fully vested in the game. It's kind of sad, but I can actually get other things done during the game now. So, like I said, I'm not going to get emotionally invested till next year. And with Rivera, you do see that sense of calm. It sounds messed up, but he's going around like, like someone who just, had their last meal or so. He knows the end is coming, so he's just chill. He knows the last days are coming. So
He absolutely knows it, yo. It's unbelievable how much he knows that it's
it's like
coming.
it's like yeah, it's like he's just getting his last meal, last couple of days. It's about to be a wrap, and I think that's the better way to do it. Because there have been times like last year, you could tell they would question him about reports, about his job. He would be like, no, 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 stop. Like he would cut reporters off, and then if people, if you're a real fan, people remember at the end of his second year. If you remember, we finished 7-9, and there were rumblings. People forget Jerry Richardson was considered moving on from Ron after his
Mhm.
second year.
Yep.
And in that last press conference against the Saints, he was tearing up because he thought he could leave. So I think now he just knows it's time, and maybe I think he might want to change too. So with those, but before I go to the coaches real quick, with Luke, to me the biggest thing is it's the players and the scheme. Um, if we know Luke Kuechly, the defensive player of the year, the best linebacker in the NFL, we know that when he's playing at that level, what is he doing? He is running sideline to sideline.
Yep.
Nobody is touching him because people are in their gap and they're eating up blockers. This whole year, linemen have been getting up on Luke and blocking him. So he's just out of sorts, and this is just the I guess you're seeing what the roster building over the past couple of years. This is the result. I don't think it's Luke himself. It's just that he keeps getting blocked, and what's made him successful is he runs sideline to sideline, and he's there to the ball. So to me, it's not about switching up to 3-4-4-3. Just get some more guys on the D tackle that can eat up blocks, and I don't care what scheme you run. As far as coaches go, do you guys? I was going to ask you, y'all, do you think we go coach first, or do you think we go GM first?
GM
Hire-wise?
first.
Oh,
GM first,
that's
unless
a
we decide to
great
keep Hurney.
that's a great question, man. I
Boy,
don't
if you
know.
keep Hurney, I'm gonna be so mad.
I don't have a I honestly don't know, and I
Man,
don't.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. If we go coach first, that means we're not. If we pick a coach first, that tells me that we're not gonna. The GM. It's possible that they're gonna make the coach do both. It's plausible. So
I mean, a good organization. You get the uh, GM first, because then
yes,
the GM works with the owner to find the coach.
yes. But the thing is, if I was them, if you already know that you're about to clean house, you need to go ahead and start making some of these moves now. But I know that's not going to happen. I think they're going to respect Rivera and let him finish the season. Now, whether or not
Mm-hmm.
they're willing to do that with Hurd, that's a different story. But I could legit see a scenario where Rivera's gone and Hurney's still here.
I think
Why would he keep
and I
Hurney?
think I
I
think
can't.
I'm
I can't.
leaning.
Go ahead.
I
Sorry.
think personally, I think that's the way I think it's gonna go. Um,
Why though? That's my question. Why would you keep uh,
the better
Hurney
question
too?
the
Just
the the better question is why not? I think the only and I'm it's a rhetorical. I mean, not a rhetorical question, but it's I'm not and again I'm not endorsing it either way. I'm just asking you why would you not
hmm
keep him? What you know what I'm saying? I don't what's the reason for you not to keep him?
okay.
The only other than the only
Because
reason why is just cleaning house just to get rid of the old Jerome guys. But is that is are you getting rid of a bad GM is my question.
bad or not, it's kind of what you said. It's the old guys, but it's like it's just you bought this team for $2.3 billion. Okay, you had no investors. A lot of these wannabe billionaires, they got to get these investors. You bought this team. You like this is your team, 100% ownership. Like put the stamp on the organization. As much as you like Herney and as good as a job as he's done, he's kind of attached at the hip with Rivera. I don't see it any other way. Like you I just with Tepper, he's already said he's very analytical heavy. Herney and Rivera are not analytical heavy. Even Herney
Yeah,
said it himself, I'm
that
not a
makes
big
sense.
analytics guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. And
So
for
to
that reason,
me,
he may move on.
yeah, to me, you have to move on. It would make no sense whatsoever. Like, put your stamp on the organization, get your GM, get your coach, and move on. But to me, what we look for GM wise. I think the coach stuff will kind of figure itself out. I don't think the coach hire will be too much out of the box. I think all the coaches that you guys listed, one of those would be the coach. Maybe we'll see. I prefer Jim Harbaugh. I think he wants to stay, and he's not doing bad at Michigan. He's actually had 10 win years. He just can't beat Ohio State, which is an issue. I think if Tepper can offer him a bag he can't refuse, I would gladly take him. And then the other guy is I think Bieniemy. I do think we should try with an offensive minded coach, not just for the sake, but I think that's just where Tepper's gone. I think that would be great for Camp too on that last year. Hopefully we bring him back. But yeah, I'm assuming to me personally, I think these 4 weeks are gonna fly by, and it'll be Black Monday, and the search will begin, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm ready to get started too. But again, I don't. I get. Listen, I get cleaning house. I'm not opposed to it either way. Or I'm not for or against it. I just want to get. I just want to win, man. At the end of the day, and listen, I don't know who.
Oh yeah.
Usually, and this is what makes this situation different, because usually, um, your GM is an internal hire. If you go back to the slide I posted, like
Mhm.
almost all but one of the GM positions was an internal hire from, and they were like director of player personnel or vice president of football operations. That's where they that's where they came from. But
Under
if
new
but
ownership, under new
that's and
ownership.
that's what makes the situation different, is that it's
Yeah.
new
Okay.
ownership. So
Yeah.
there's no there's no precedent for this, and that's what makes this thing.
Okay.
There's nothing to go from. And so if he cleans house and he gets rid of everybody, then it's gonna be an external hire. It's gonna be somebody brand new, which is not bad.
Oh,
I'm just pointing it out. I'm just
no.
pointing out the fact. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think like I said, last thing I'll say, I think you just have to clean house, get your own guy, get you a forward-minded, analytical GM. You can consult with Tepper, and I trust Tepper to turn it around. Like he's said a lot. I think he knows that like he said in the Amazon all or nothing, offensive line, defensive line. That's going to take us as far as we can get with both sides of the ball. So I think Tepper, you hire the GM, then you go get your coach, and you go from there. Like I'm ready to start watching these games with some excitement.
Yeah.
So
All right, no, I gotta get to
we'll
the
see
next
how it
guy.
goes.
I gotta get to the next guy,
All
man.
right, man.
All right,
All
Talk
right,
to you
thanks,
later.
Nolan,
have a good
man.
one, bro.
Have a good one,
No
boss.
problem.
Hey, you see that dude said he said I'll donate this if you donate $1,000 if you read this out loud. Donate to what? Don't donate to me.
I'm afraid to read what he's gonna say. I got a job to keep, bro.
Right. All right. 910. What's good?
Yo,
Yo, what up?
yo, hey, what's good, yo?
What's good, bro?
So man,
So, hey, look, hey, right. So I'm a little late, so I ain't really get up on what y'all was. I know y'all was talking about should we get rid of Rivera or should we get a new coach or whatever. I know that's one, but what was the other thing y'all was talking about?
No,
Cause
that's
I got
pretty.
in a
it,
little bit late.
That's
it's
pretty much it.
you're incorrect. We didn't say should we get rid of Rivera. I think
It's
it's pretty much a done deal that Rivera's leaving.
right.
Um, it's just a matter of we talked about the game. We talked about coaching potential head coaches. So I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
think
Okay,
Rivera leaving is a done deal at this
It's
point.
pretty much over for Rivera at this point. It's over. So at this point,
oh,
we trying to
it's
prepare
over,
ourselves.
man.
Yeah, it's over for
It's over
Rivera, man.
for 'em.
It's done. It's over, yo.
Oh man. Oh man. So like, so basically, it don't matter if he win all the rest of these games in the
Nah,
year. He still going. He fired.
It's over, man. It's over. Ryan's about to be out of here, bro.
Oh man. All right. Okay. I heard y'all talking about Mike Tomlin. Who else was y'all talking about? Like Mike Tomlin and like who? Lincoln Riley or somebody.
Yeah,
Who else was y'all talking?
Lincoln Riley, Mike McCarthy, Greg Roman, a bunch of dudes, man. It's a bunch of guys. Eric Bieniemy, um, a bunch of offensive coordinators slash defensive coordinators. You might have to go through and listen to the replay, bro. There's a lot of dudes.
Yeah, we went over a lot of guys. But we're not endorsing any of them.
Yeah, we're not picking one. Just putting it out there.
Okay. Okay. As far as Mike Tomlin, do y'all think he getting fired or he staying?
No,
He
I don't.
keeping his
I think
job?
he's keeping his job. He's still under
Yeah, he's
contract. I
coach of
don't
the
think
year
he's going
candidate now.
anywhere. Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. He was just throwing up there because it just because they're
The fan base, I think the fan base want him gone,
yeah.
but I don't think the owner and the GM, I don't think the owner's gonna pull the trigger. I think Tomlin's safe because he might win Coach of the Year, man.
Yeah. Considering what he has, I mean, he's doing a lot with nothing. So, he I don't think he gets fired. But if he does, that's what that was for.
Okay, so y'all just like X and round around. He's gone. That's it. It
Yeah,
doesn't
Ron
matter
is out
what
of
he
here.
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
He's
You
he's
gone.
you
he's
want
heading
why
out.
why do you still want him here? Because you sound like you about to cry, bro. Like you sound like you about to cry if Ron go
Nah,
to get Cam.
like for real, like nah. Look, with me, right? It's more of a situation where I'm like, I'm looking at Sean Payton and I'm looking at the Ravens coach. I'm like, yo, those guys went like 8-8, 7-9, like 3 straight seasons, and they always got that one more year of confidence. And then it's like all of a sudden now you're looking at New Orleans and you're looking at Baltimore, and you're looking at these teams that kept these coaches back. Like a lot
But
of
you,
people's like, yo,
you
fire this
know,
dude now,
you,
fire him.
you know what the difference is though. You know what the difference is?
What?
They both won Super Bowls.
What?
Yeah,
They
those are
both won Super Bowls.
Super Bowl winning coaches.
They're both Super
They've
Bowl winning
they've
coaches.
earned that right.
Yeah.
They
And the
got
thing is, it is not like I'm saying Ron doesn't earn that right, because Ron has too. He's been here 4 years after he's won the Super Bowl, as he got to the Super Bowl. So he's had time to get back, and he hasn't been back. He hasn't been close to being back.
it's just and again we not
Right.
bashing Ron. We not saying Ron is a bad coach. What we saying is it's just
I think he's a great coach.
In Carolina he's wore out his welcome, man. Like I'm tired of being average, and just what Tepper said. Yo, mediocrity is not going. It's not going to do it. Like you play the game to win the Super Bowl, bro. Like Ron is not going to get us no
Yeah.
better than what a 12-4 record, 11-3 record every other year. You can bank on that. It won't be back-to-back winning seasons, and then he could potentially get you to the playoffs. But then once you get to the playoffs, you ain't gonna do shit. And then you might get to the Super Bowl, but are you gonna get over the hump? Like that's kind of where we are, and that's good. That might be good for like a Bengals or
Yeah.
like a Cowboys or somebody who ain't done shit like ever. But for us, we kind of been there and done that. Like we want to get over the hump, and that's what we talking about. It's time to get over the hump, bro.
Right. Yeah. You right. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say, man.
Yo,
Hey,
man,
Ty,
don't cry,
you
bro.
wild.
You about to
You
cry,
wild.
man.
I'm
Yo,
gone.
you about to
I'm
cry, bro.
gone.
This dude about to cry. Yo, you about to cry, bro. You
Look,
got
man, I don't. I'm gonna be real. I think I just think Rivera's been here. He had a pretty good run here. I know people
yeah,
are
it was
trying to say he's
good.
a terrible coach. He's had a phenomenal run here. If I told you in 8 years we would win 3 straight division titles, go to a Super Bowl, I mean that's pretty good. I mean, I know people aren't a fan of how it's been rolling, but that's pretty good, man.
It is good, but you want to win a
Compared to
Super
like
Bowl.
like we put the comparisons with Jason Garrett. I thought Garrett should have been fired years ago, but we know why he's still there. So I digress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Look, listen, Ron is a good coach, and he'll be good somewhere else. He's gonna get hired immediately somewhere else.
Immediately.
Like he's gonna get hired,
Immediately.
and they're
Oh,
gonna be a good team. But will they get over the hump? Until he gets the Super Bowl?
okay. Okay.
I still think Dallas is where he's going, yo. I stand by that. I think Dallas is it. I think he's going to Dallas, and I think he's going to do way more than what Garrett was able to do with that team. My opinion.
Uh, I think if he gone, Cam is gone. If he back, Cam is
Nah,
coming back. That's what I think.
nah.
I don't think so.
I don't think I don't think they're relatives.
And
I don't
then
think I don't think that's going to count against the other.
yeah, and then you should be excited about seeing Cam under new play caller, new head coach. We all should be, because I think Cam
Offensive or defensive?
head coach period, head coach, new OC, just new everything. I think you'll see a rejuvenated Cam,
I don't.
a healthy as long as he's healthy.
I don't think. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I think you get rid of one. You got to start all over. You
Nah,
might as well start all over. You got to get rid of one.
you
Nah,
got you
'cause
got to get
franchise
excited about.
quarterbacks. You can't just pick up franchise quarterbacks from the street, or you could end up like Jared Goff. You can't
I,
just pick him up off the street,
I'm
man.
saying like okay, I'm saying, but like Cam Newton is in his last year. He ain't gonna be playing all the way out like he's supposed to be on his last year.
He
And
wants to get
you know
paid. He wants
the
to get paid.
Cam
What
that's
are
is
you
what I'm.
about.
talking
Yeah, he
about?
want. He gonna be just like he gonna be just like Devin Funches though. He ain't gonna want to get hurt. He ain't gonna want to run.
Nah,
He gonna
that's
be
Oh
like,
not
nah,
man,
Cam.
nah.
I'm trying to
That's
get
not Cam.
healthy.
That's
No, no,
not
no.
Cam.
He. Let me tell you something right now. If he's 100% going into the following season, he gonna ball. He's going to ball because he wants to get paid. He hasn't gotten a
It's a
$30 million a year contract yet.
contract year, yo. It's gonna be
Yo,
a
he's gonna ball.
different type of pay, man.
Yeah, he's gonna ball. Period. Now he could. I could legit see a situation where he might force the Panthers' hand and say, "You got to give me an extension or trade me." I could see that, but we're far away from that point. So
Right,
we'll
right.
see. We shall see.
Yeah, that's yeah. That's all. I'm out, yo.
All right, yo.
Have a good one, sir.
Keep your head
All right,
up, bro.
all right.
It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay, man. My man's about to
It'll be
cry.
fine. We'll be fine.
All right, so they that's it. Listen, I highly doubt we do a preview show for the Atlanta game, unless Dave you want to do it. I'm gonna I'm gonna spend my time doing some research on this head coach GM search, see what I can put together. And we could probably do a show. I know you coming into town, right? When you coming into town?
I'm flying Thursday, but I got to talk to you about that.
What's up?
I might need somewhere to crash Thursday night. I'll keep you posted though.
All right, let me know.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I'm flying Thursday.
So yeah, we
When
might.
are you heading to Greensboro? Thursday, or Friday?
I won't be there. Well, I'm gonna go up Friday, probably around 10. I'll get there around
Okay.
10, and then I gotta
All
come
right.
back because my daughter has a performance. So I'll be back
You be
Saturday.
hopping.
Yeah, I'll be back and forth. All right. So that being said, yo, that's it. Yo, do y'all want an Atlanta preview episode? Y'all sound like y'all want a preview. Ah, it's nothing to really talk about.
Well,
We both trash.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. All right. So when Rashad was gone, I was so irritated that we lost to Atlanta that I didn't even try to hit Deuce up. I was just irritated. All right. So I didn't try to hit Deuce up to try to set it up. And then we lost to the Saints, and then it was the holidays. So we were like, it's too close.
Here we go.
Thanksgiving,
Money talk.
it's too close. Appreciate it, Jared. And by the way, man, Jared, I made a rookie mistake in this league, and you might end up winning, but I got a week to make this comeback, so I'm not dead yet. But I'm conflicted. I need Dalvin to get me 16 more points for another league, so I'm conflicted right now. But yeah, I left Robert Woods and Alshon Jeffrey on the bench, and I played Evan Ingram, so it's very depressing right now. So, anywho, appreciate the donation, but we'll see, man. I lost what the heck I was talking about before Jerry gave me that money, but either
Okay.
way,
Oh, you said you was frustrated that you didn't make an episode with Deuce.
no, I'm
And
not frustrated. It was just, yeah, but that's why I didn't, because I was just irritated. And then Thanksgiving was last week, so we decided we're not going to do it. This week is just losing to Washington is like demoralizing. From the standpoint of like, I'm always a believer that you're supposed to beat the teams that's in front of you, to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, and we didn't do that on Sunday. We had a chance to give some type of ray of hope to the to the to the fan base, and we keep laying these eggs at home, and it's kind of hard to watch. But we'll see.
yeah,
Yeah, it's 2 week playoff, so I'm not dead yet,
not
and
pretty.
I've come back from 60 points, so I'm not in a panic yet, but I'm starting to get nervous. 'Cause I'm down by 30 right now, but I can make the comeback. If anybody can make the comeback, my squad can.
All right. That being said, yeah, we about to be out, man. We'll holler at y'all next week. Uh, hey, keep an eye on the head coach search, man. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be different
Yeah, I mean,
times,
the fact that
different.
Rivera didn't get fired on the plane, you get fired in the locker room, you
Nah,
should be happy, guys.
nah. They already said he gonna coach the season out.
Yeah, he gonna coach the season.
They already said that.
Just hope he doesn't actually try to coach the season, right? Because if he tries to coach the season, that means we're gonna go 7-9.
No, he
or
could set
8 and 8.
us up. He could be like, yo, nah, y'all take this pick 16.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
Right, man. Peace out. We'll holler at y'all.
All right, y'all have a good one.